Hello, my name is Reni and I used to have a trucking company called Windstar Express Inc. Unfortunately, we signed up with the worst factoring company called St. John Capital out of Parkridge, Illinois. On my previous videos, I mentioned that St. John Capital is not a member of the International Factoring Association. When I made these videos, this statement was true. Because when I called the International Factoring Association last year, Mr. G from the International Factoring Association told me that they no longer deal with St. John Capital because they were getting way too many complaints from carriers about St. John Capital. But this is not the case anymore. I found out that St. John Capital is now in a good standing with the International Factoring Association. I'm not sure what changed IFA's mind. Is it the membership fees that they're collecting? Is it something else? I'm not sure. But one thing is for sure, that St. John Capital is a very bad, deceptive, and dishonest company. St. John Capital lied to me and to many carriers that they have open contract, meaning that you can leave whenever you want, you just have to give them 30-day notice. I found out that this was a lie. Look what the previous employee of St. John Capital emailed me. They have an open contract where you can leave whenever you want. They just need a 30-day notice. This is true. But because they are private business and any private business can choose who they want to work with and who they don't. So legally, St. John Capital can say they don't want to work with other factors because they don't want to work with them, and they have the legal right to do so. So your contract that is open is not really open because they don't tell you when you sign up, we don't work with these factors. They tell you when you want to leave. How can a fraudulent company like St. John Capital be in a good standing with the International Factoring Association? I am so disappointed. St. John Capital literally kept me hostage for many years. Every time I tried to move on with RTS Financial, St. John Capital kept telling me how bad RTS Financial was, that RTS was a shady business and that I would lose a lot of money in the process of transferring to RTS. According to a previous employee of St. John Capital, my company, Windstar Express, used to be one of the two biggest accounts for St. John Capital. That was the reason they didn't want to let us go, because we were one of the biggest two accounts working with St. John Capital. So how can such a dishonest company like St. John Capital, who are keeping their carriers hostages, can be members of the International Factoring Association? I am very disappointed. So a previous employee of St. John Capital revealed that the owner was making their employee John and Jennifer write fake positive reviews about St. John Capital online so they can defraud and attract more customers. How can such a deceptive company be in a good standing with the International Factoring Association? Also, if you watched my previous videos, you probably saw that St. John Capital is involved in a massive fraudulent online scam. They hired a marketing company who wrote hundreds of positive fake reviews about St. John Capital. St. John Capital reviewers are going to the same dentist, to the same doctors, to the same lawyers, divorce attorneys. They buy their appliances or electronics or insurance from the same companies. They send their teenagers to the same rehab centers. They go to the same surrogate centers, and so on. How can such a deceptive and fraudulent company be in a good standing with the International Factoring Association? I can't believe that. I'm so disappointed. What is more bizarre is the fact that when St. John Capital creates all these fake reviews, they pull pictures of pedophiles, rapists, child molesters, killers, sugar daddies, naughty girls. I can't believe that such a dishonest and deceptive company such as St. John Capital is a member of the International Factoring Association. St. John Capital is aware of my videos because I posted my videos on their Facebook page. And you know what they did when they saw my videos exposing their fake reviews? No, they didn't delete these fake reviews. What they did instead is they took down all the reviewers' profile pictures. They either replaced them with other pictures or they deleted the pictures. Dozens of profiles of their fake reviewers changed their profiles or set their profiles on private overnight. Instead of deleting their fakery, they conceal it. So how can such a dishonest company such as St. John Capital can be a member of the International Factoring Association? I still can't believe that. So when we had enough, when they were making a lot of mistake with my accounts receivable, I made a negative review about St. John Capital. You know what they did? They were making money from my company for almost 5 years. But the day that I made the negative review about them, they reported us on freightguard.com for being involved in illegal and unethical business practices. Can you believe that? I've been asking St. John Capital for many years, and I want to ask them again. What is the illegal and unethical business practices that we were involved in? I still haven't gotten the answer from St. John Capital. St. John Capital is the company who is involved in unethical business practices by creating and posting fake reviews. How can such a dishonest and fraudulent company such as St. John Capital can be a member of the International Factoring Association? The transition from St. John Capital to RTS Financial Factoring was a nightmare because St. John Capital refused to talk to me and to my new factoring company. They refused to give us any information about my receivables. When they stopped access to my account, so I can't see what's going on with my receivables. I kept asking them for my new login information. They lied to me that it was an IT error and that they're working on it. No, it wasn't an IT error. I sat down and I started playing with the passwords. My previous password was client1. I played with the passwords. I entered client11 and bingo. I was able to log in and see what's going on. So it wasn't an IT error. St. John Capital lied to me. So how can such a dishonest company can be a member of the International Factoring Association? I still can't believe it. I logged in and I saw what they were doing with my money. They were cashing checks that were not factored by St. John Capital, and they never gave me information or never deposited it to my new account. And I also saw that they were suing me with my own money. They were paying their lawyer with my money. How can such a bad company be a member of the International Factoring Association? They were so sweet and nice with me for all these years while they were making money from me. But the day I told them I wanted to leave, they did all these horrible things to me. They dragged me into litigation. Getting my release letter from St. John Capital was a nightmare. I had to pay tens of thousands of dollars for a lawyer in order to try to get the release letter from these crooks. Capital took their sweet time with the release letter. God, I found a good lawyer to help me out, but it cost me money. Lawyers are expensive. So how can such a bad company as St. John Capital can be a member of the International Factoring Association? When we finally got the release letter, they didn't release my money for months. Hundreds of thousands of dollars were sitting in their account. It's ridiculous. They were releasing $30,000. Then I had to call my lawyer and ask them what's going on. I have hundreds of thousands of dollars in St. John Capital's account, Where is my money? And then next week, after begging them, they would release another $50,000 or another, ridiculous amount of money. It was horrible. I had to let my employees and my drivers go one by one because I didn't have the money to pay them. It was a lot of sleepless nights. It was crazy. I had to hire a lawyer to beg for my own money because St. John Capital decided to punish me for leaving them because we were one of the two biggest accounts that they had. They were mad that we wanted to leave them. Can you believe that? Then how can such a bad company like St. John Capital be a member of the International Factoring Association? It's unbelievable. That feeling it is every time you go to the office and your employees and your drivers are looking at you, wondering if they're gonna get paid today or tomorrow or they will ever get paid. It was a nightmare for me. It's a horrible, horrible feeling. Now it's year 2022. We left St. John Capital in 2017. Up to this day, St. John Capital never released my escrow. Last time I checked at the end of June 2017, it was about $18,000. We were negotiating with St. John Capital about my escrow. They were ready to give me a part of my escrow if I deleted my negative review. I refused to delete my negative review. What my negative review has to do with my escrow? They never returned my escrow. Still keeping my escrow for 5 years. I kept emailing them. I recently emailed them a couple of times asking for my escrow, but they didn't reply to me. What they did instead is they dragged me into litigation. So how can such a bad company as St. John Capital be a member of the International Factoring Association? I can't believe that. They sued me personally and my company for $50,000 and $75,000 respectively. Claimed that I was defaming them by calling them scammers and ripoffs. That's what they are. The litigation lasted about 2 years. I had to pay tens of thousands of dollars to defend myself. On the other side, St. John Capital was suing me with my own money too. I just wanted to leave St. John Capital. I didn't want these complications. St. John Capital is such a spiteful company. They wanted to punish me for leaving them. You didn't have to drag me into litigation. You just had to let me go to RTS Financial. How can such a bad company, such as St. John Capital, who is making it almost impossible for a carrier to transfer to another factoring company, be in a good standing with the International Factoring Association? Since the factoring industry is not regulated by the government, my only hope was that International Factoring Association would help a carrier in case something goes wrong between the carrier and the factoring company, dishonest factoring companies such as St. John Capital. But as usual, everything is business. Yes, the membership fees are more important than all those codes of ethics that are posted on IFA's website. Be very careful when you sign up with a factoring company. Factoring company can push you out of business. I'm a very good example of it. Nobody has your back